enjoyed watching this week's episode of Million Dollar Neighborhood. I'm Christella, and my family participated in the filming of Million Dollar Neighborhood Season 2 in Bowmanville, and this week we were digging for buried treasure. It's not quite as fun as it sounds. We weren't pirating or anything. Yarr! But we did spend a lot of time looking through our houses for lost change and coins in our cars and pockets and wallets and anywhere you could think. We had a lot to do in a short amount of time. We had a second look done at our taxes. We had determined if we had our taxes done properly or if there was anything that we missed along the way. As you saw, my family had a $7,000 return. Now, to break that down for you, that $7,000 return was 5 years of taxes that I had not done. Yes, shame, shame, shame on me. But you know what? The good thing is, although it's never good to not do your taxes, in hindsight, I think that had I done all my taxes on time every year, what would have happened is I would have gotten those minimal returns, $800 to $1,000. I would have spent that money on something that was not useful because I was young, I was still in school. So in hindsight, maybe not such a bad thing that the taxes weren't all done previously, because now that they're done 5 years cumulatively, we were able to get a much larger return, which we were then able to put towards debt, and we wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. So, downside, upside, who knows? We saw Rodney Foster and Brent McGill, who are an amazing family that I'm really good friends with, and we got to see Rodney's daughter Teresa as her and Emma Harris and a few of the other teenagers came together and used their skills to do a babysitting group in which all of the MDN families were able to use for the entire time that week, which, as you saw, saved us almost $2,000, which is an amazing savings for 1 week. And if any of you are parents, you know how expensive the cost of childcare can really be. It was something that opened up our eyes to the cost of childcare and how much we were even spending just shooting the show. Very, very proud of Teresa and Rodney and Brent for all of their hard work that week, and their nomination and win, in my opinion, was super deserving. They couldn't have done a better job, and I'm super proud of them. They worked hard every week in and out, and just really, really that week deserved the nomination. We saw Brian Young and Susan Kime again, and they're such an amazing dynamic family. They have tons of kids and they're super fun. You know, Brian, again, it was brought up that he had served time in jail for doing a break and enter like 20 years ago, and the thing that all of us MDNers kind of keep talking about is, you know, okay, we get it, get over it already. Nobody really cared. For the most part, throughout the whole filming of the show, none of us held that against Brian. I don't think that anybody should hold, especially, you know, when someone commits a crime, that's one thing, but when they get caught and they serve their time and they learn from that mistake, especially if it's a mistake made in youth, it's something that, you know, who the F cares? Seriously, let's get over it already. Brian is a great guy. He does everything he can to help out his community, and none of us hold that against him. We did get to see Brad McMaster and Katie McCreary and their beautiful boys, and their son Madi actually took a few of the other boys, the other MDN boys, and taught them some sign language, which I think is amazing. The power of communication is so easy and accessible to kids that they don't understand, I think, a lot of the time, how important it is for people who are not able to communicate so easily or effectively to do so. I think that moment in time was really important for not only the viewers, but for the boys who are actually learning that stuff. They got to connect with a kid who is differently abled and really connect with him on a different level, and they got to learn more about themselves and more about each other. So very proud of everybody involved in that. One thing that was crazy to me was all of the change. Everybody had so much change. Us, I've always done, you know, I collect the change in my wallet over time, and it starts to get too thick and fat, and so I throw it all in this one jar, and then when it looks like we've got like a fair amount, I take it all out, or when we're doing a good clean, I take it all out and I count it. And then once it's counted and rolled, I bring it to the bank and I exchange it for real paper money. We either use it to buy groceries or put it into savings or whatever. So it's really interesting how much money, to me, people had just laying around their house, in their cars, like $700, $1,000. Like, that's That's a little bit crazy pants to me. That's a lot of money to just kind of have it sitting around. The title of Buried Treasure this week really kind of suited the episode because that is a lot of money to have buried around. This week's nominations were tough, and one thing I noticed with the editing, normally what they do is at the end of the episode, when they get into the nominations, they announce each family who's been nominated, and then they do the numbers and figure out if we've met the challenge or not, and then ooh, you get to win, who gets to win. This week, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they did it backwards. So they did, this is how much you guys made this week, oh my god, it's over 100,000. And then they said, and these are the families that are nominated, which is something that's really funny to me because this week in particular, it was exciting because Rodney had not told his younger son and daughter that they had won the $10,000. We're not allowed to tell anybody, obviously, leading up to the airing of the episode, who's won what, when, and where, and why, but immediate family members, people who participated in the show, generally know that stuff. So the fact that Rodney had not told his kids was hilarious to me. The whole point was that tonight we would have the big reveal. So we were all sitting down and watching the show. I got to watch it with Brent and Rodney, and we get to the end and we're all so excited. We're actually secretly filming the kids to see their reactions, and they just motored through the part so fast that it took the kids a couple seconds to kind of register with, what? We won? You won? Like, they were totally shocked, and I'm going to show you guys a little clip of that because it's hilarious.
590,411.
Almost 600,000, and we're not even in week 6. We're kicking ass and taking names.
You've reached your weekly target. You've earned the right to vote for one of 3 nominated families to be rewarded with $10,000.
Rodney Foster and Rodney's daughter Teresa.
We got nominated.
Rodney and Teresa Foster, they work their butts off.
Wow.
And they're voting for Teresa.
That's what she does.
Teresa.
How hard she worked this week.
Has chosen Rodney, Brent, and Teresa.
Oh my goodness, we won?
You won?
Congratulations, you guys have $10,000!
It was great.
You know how hard it was to keep it a secret?
And
So I want to know, what was your favorite part of tonight's episode? What did you guys think was the funniest part? What did you think was the best lesson that you learned from tonight's episode? Are there any changes you're going to be making in your financial strategies to save money because of tonight's episode? And, you know, overall, just how did you enjoy it? Hope you guys tune in again next week. As always, you can catch me on my blog at crawltheline.com. You can visit me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/crawltheline. On Twitter at Cristela Says. Or just hit me back here on YouTube again next week. Same time, same place.